Hello everybody, my name is Ben, I'm the VP of Product here at Geckoboard, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Eric Nelson, co-founder and CEO of Stylo, who are a suite of Zendesk-native AI apps that help human agents work faster and teams deliver better results to their customers. Their apps are highly rated on Zendesk Marketplace, promise quick time to value. Eric, it's great to have you.
First and foremost, thanks so much for having me today, Ben. I really appreciate it. Essentially, Stylo at its core is a human-in-the-loop feedback train system that allows for us to be able to take the knowledge and the tone of your agents as they're working their day-to-day tickets, and then be able to turn that not only into automatic response templates, but also into response generation drafts that they can utilize to be able to answer tickets more effectively. We do sentiment analysis, auto ticket categorization, and triaging. But really, it's all built around that same thesis of how can we be making agents more efficient while making sure that they stay involved in the support experience.
You've got the players, the big players themselves. Zendesk have, AI features. You've got other help desks like Intercom have AI features that work across there. You've got other standalones like Ada, Assembled offers some as well. Like, where do you see Stylo fitting in? And is there a specific type of customer that you're coming for, or are you really trying to go head to head with some of these others?
What it comes down to is really the more complex use cases. So when humans need to be involved in the process, and when I talk about that, it's like tier 2, tier 3 technical troubleshooting, manufacturing, hard sciences, anything where you can't trust that an AI is going to be able to automatically respond to a ticket and get the answer correct every single time. And a lot of that knowledge might be in your knowledge base, but a lot of it is also stored in the brains of your support agents. So that's where we really started to focus in on, is on the more complex use cases. Really, when it gets into the more complex areas, that's where Stylo seems to thrive. And actually, when I talk about the human in the loop feedback process, that's such a core fundamental aspect of Stylo. So we'll just say that, Ben, you're a customer support agent. You've generated a response with Stylo. It's like 95% of the way there. You've went ahead and you've inserted it into the ticket. You just hit in and paste it into the text editor button. And then you go and make a few modifications to it. Maybe it's adding a little bit of context that Stylo didn't have access to, or you change a few things that are tone related.
Do you find that when people are coming to you, they've often been trying the other solutions that, as you say, are more focused on perhaps the simpler use case, and then it's a mismatch between the company type and what those tools are able to do, and that people are then looking for you, or they're getting referred to you? Is that a big challenge, or is it people are kind of going out and looking at everything and going, okay, well, there's this and this and this and this and this?
A lot of the time what happens is that they have tried a lot of different solutions and they've continued to miss the mark. But for the most part, what we find is that the people that stick with us and that come to us are all really, really focused on the customer experience. They're really focused on the quality being there and for it to feel human. And by using Stylo, it feels human because your humans are staying involved in the process. We've all been able to start to recognize the speech pattern or the writing pattern of, different foundational models. And that's where Stylo still continues to feel like your support agents in comparison to, being littered with M dashes and everything like that.
Do you ever run into problems or challenges, I suppose, with the way that people's setups are configured? Are there common pitfalls in people's setups that you perhaps need to work with them on getting the most, or can inhibit you getting the most out of it?
Every single Zendesk instance is a little bit different, and that adds a lot of complexity when you're a partner that has built your application suite on top of it. There is a nice little checklist that we have, and it's like, if you have these things done, we're going to be able to find greater success for you. When customers install, we are in the background just doing a programmatic analysis of their Zendesk instance. And we're like, this person's set up pretty well for success. We know that, they can go through and do self-serve without any issues. But if we see that somebody very similar to with a scorecard scores like a 50 or 60% or something, we're like, oh, okay, we should probably get in contact with these people. And we usually then recommend that they do an AI health audit, which is essentially somebody from my team comes in. We sit with them, we try to understand what their goals are, and then we give them recommendations on like what they could be doing in their Zendesk instance to get it a little bit cleaned up to be able to find more success with any AI products, whether it be Stylo or someone else. So they can, report on things more effectively so that, when they get their Geckoboard set up and everything, like all of the like all of the reports just look phenomenal and are actually showing the clean, accurate information that they need.
What are you, I guess, advocating that they measure in terms of impact? Like how do you think about the impact of being successful with and adopting Stylo?
I think that a lot of the metrics that support teams were measuring for the last 10, 15, 20 years are going to shift quite a bit. And the reasoning for that, I think, is that we now have a new class of support agents in the form of like AI agents. How do we metricize that? And then what is the standard that we are holding our human agents to versus our AI agents? What we have found is that in the past years, CSAT was very much measured or was able to be, you were able to predict that it was going to be a good or a negative resolution based off of how quick that first time to response was. And nowadays, because if it's too quick, they're assuming that it's an AI agent that is pretending to be a customer support agent. Uh, the um, the satisfaction is going down quite quickly if you are responding too quickly.
The dream would be that, well, you get your answer and the answer is just as good and you got it even quicker. So surely you should be happy. So it's interesting that even in that case, people are perhaps not satisfied, that they feel maybe they've been fobbed off or something.
I think that that's a real differentiation between like business to consumer and business to business. I think that when business to consumer, they really just care about getting their answer as quickly as possible. They don't really care as much. But when you think about business to business, you're essentially creating a trusted contract there that's saying like, I'm going to purchase your product because I think it's the appropriate product to purchase. And they're purchasing that from a human. And then if you are then getting siloed into just a bot loop where you can never get your answer, it's going to create a poor experience for that user. So
What do you track for your team, when it comes to support metrics?
I think getting the customer to a state where they're happy and they've gotten all of their questions answered in a quick, clean, timely fashion is really important. And I don't think CSAT is a great metric. We do a thing called predictive CSAT. So based off of the sentiment on the ticket, how the urgency that it has, the frustration that it has, the delight that it has. What do we measure? What do we think if we were to send them a CSAT survey? Would it be? What we are focusing in on for metrics are what are the areas of our product that are causing the most issues for our customers.
I'm curious what your perspective is 5 years from now, how things look, because there's a range of opinions. Some people thought that today there'd be no one left in CS, it'd all be bots. Clearly, that's not the case. What do you think the landscape looks like 5 years out from now?
If you'd asked me in 2023, I would have been one of those people that said that support is going to be 50% AI agents and it's going to be 50% support agents. You had everybody and their sister that was coming in and saying, hey, we're going to automate away all support. And then it came down and we're feeling that pendulum swing back the other way where that didn't work. And it wasn't the end all be all solution that it was. And I think where we're going to end up is somewhere right in the middle. I think that the humans are going to become more and more important to your business as AI just becomes just more of a tool and not something that was shaking up the entirety of the industry.
Before we go, is there anything else that you wanted to share with the audience about the Stylo suite?
Stylo is in a really exciting place. We've got some really exciting features that are going to be coming out the door. We're leaning more into the agent augmentation side more than ever, focusing on workflows and also how can we have your agents be able to identify all of the areas that are necessary to be able to work a ticket more effectively.
Awesome. And where can folks find out more? I know it's askstylo.com for the website, but can folks reach out to you?
Yeah. Yep. Askstylo.com. You can feel free to hit me up on LinkedIn or just jump in to any of our products, scorecard.askstylo.com or any channel you can find us on essentially.
Brilliant. So Zendesk Marketplace, see all your fantastic reviews.
Exactly.
All right, brilliant. Well, Eric, thanks again so much for taking time to chat with us today. Really appreciate it. And you at home, thanks for watching. Cheerio.
Appreciate it. All right.